want to continue in this series that is designed for this time of the centennial celebration, which I have called Waking the Soul of America. So today's message is Waking the Soul of America through Creedless, Kriya Yoga. Paramahansa Ji left India with the blessings and instruction of his guru, Sri Yukteswar, to bring the teachings of Kriya Yoga to America. And in particular, Sri Yukteswar told Yogananda Ji to teach the Kriya Yoga of Patanjali, to teach the philosophical system for self and God realization known as yoga, which is one of the 6 classical systems of Indian philosophy that explores the nature of reality, what we are, what ultimate reality is, and importantly, how we can know it, how we can realize it. This philosophical system of yoga is not a religion. It is a scientific method of inquiry, along with a step-by-step method for spiritual practice and realization that can be verified by individual direct experience. And the sages of Kriya Yoga, of this tradition, who sent Paramahansa Ji as their emissary to the West, felt that that philosophical system was particularly suited to the West and to the American temperament. Paramahansa Ji appreciated the rugged individualist spirit of America and our love for freedom. He saw in this land people willing to explore the inner realms as well as the outer with a relentless courage and determination. Yogananda included some lines from what he called Walt Whitman's hymn to America in Yogananda's book, The Autobiography of a Yogi. What it means that he included these lines of tribute and vision, I think, speaks volumes about the potential that he saw in us. That vision of America's possibility is so especially poignant for us to contemplate at this particular moment in our history. For Americans, and I want to broaden that and say really for all students of Kriya Yoga worldwide, at this special time, naturally our focus is on who was Paramahansa Yogananda and what did he teach and what was his mission and how did he accomplish it. But I want to say that the true measure of an enlightened being is not in deeds, but in the awakened consciousness that transformed and continues to transform lives. And of course, that's where we come in. That's where we all come in. So at this time of celebration and in accordance with what Yogananda Ji brought to the West, let us ask, who are we? What do we teach with our lives? What is our mission? How do we accomplish it? What has shaped our individual and collective consciousness, and what are we allowing to shape us now? What have we done with the gift of Kriya Yoga that he brought to us so freely? What did he make possible for us? And what do we see as possible now? So with all that in mind, I want to offer to you those words from Whitman's poem that Paramahansa Ji included in his autobiography. And please listen deeply with your awareness of possibility that Yogananda Ji saw, where we are today, and how you are called So here's Whitman's verse. Thee in thy future, thee in thy larger, saner brood of female, male, thee in thy athletes moral and spiritual, thee in thy athletes moral and spiritual south, north, west, east, thee in thy moral wealth and civilization, until which thy proudest material civilization must remain in vain. Thee in thy all-supplying, all-enclosing worship, thee in no single Bible, Savior merely, thy Saviors countless, latent within thyself, equal to any, divine as any. Thee in thy all-supplying, all-enclosing worship, thee in no single Bible, Savior merely, thy Saviors countless, latent within thyself, equal to any, divine as any, these in thee, certain to come, today I prophesy. These in thee, certain to come. So I think you can feel and imagine along with me why Paramahansa loved this poem and included it in his autobiography. Not so long ago, I had a conversation with a spiritual friend, a Swami from India, and I told him I was rather exasperated with hearing this common trope that the harmonious exchange so desired between East and West was that India offers her spiritual riches and America offers her practical wisdom for successful living. We hear that again and again. I said spirit and spiritual riches are no less present in the West, nor is business acumen and innovation missing in the East. So will we be forever, speaking of it this way, forever in the West relegated to be the teachers of material success? What will change this? I said to him. He was very thoughtful, and then he replied, I think it will change when the West produces enlightened beings and shows them to the East. There are for sure some lights that radiate brightly from here. I know because I have known them. I have met them. My own guru, Roy Eugene Davis, is one. A direct disciple of Yogananda ji, who then took the light of the Vedas found in America, took it back to India and around the world. Paramahansa Yogananda said that he was planting the seeds of spiritual realization in the hearts and the minds of receptive souls that he met here. And that, of course, continues in the receptivity of those of us who encounter his teaching legacy today. Those seeds of realization will sprout when conditions are right. And it is so important to us, perhaps more important now than ever before, that we know and remind ourselves that those conditions are not external conditions. Those conditions are of the heart, of the mind, the faith, and steadfast dedication of spiritual seekers. Yogananda found in the West many seekers of truth, many lovers of God, and sincere disciples. And as his guru predicted, wherever he went, he made friends. It's important to say that he also experienced some of the worst of America. He experienced our racism, our greed, our materialistic focus, and our restless nature, our propensity for bad habits. The Ku Klux Klan was in its heyday at the time Yogananda arrived here, and it was, of course, the roaring 20s, time of economic boom and all around excess. I'm sure he had to wonder sometimes what he had gotten himself into. Fortunately for us, he was undeterred in his mission to shine the light of Kriya Yoga in the West, and his mission was accomplished. You know, what attracted me to Kriya Yoga was freedom, and not just the freedom of the ultimate goal of liberation of consciousness that is the summit of Kriya Yoga practice. But for me, it was the freedom to learn, to inquire, to explore, to question, and to experience for myself, to realize what I am, what you are, and what God is. It wasn't enough for me to have someone else tell me what I should believe. That didn't satisfy my mind or my soul. I wanted to know, and I wanted to know how I would know. Even as a child, I was aware that God was both intimate, meaning personal to our own soul experience, and infinite, beyond all boundaries of name and form. At CSE, we have adapted and embraced as our vision statement the verse from the Rig Veda: awaken to the one truth known by many names. Over the years, so many have said to me, when I saw that, I knew I was home. It's a soul recognition. There's one truth, known by many names. That invitation to awaken to truth was the one that Paramahansa Yogananda brought to America. The invitation to awaken, as well as its promise that we can, and the imperative that we must. Regardless of our age, of our nationality, of our race, of our gender, our economic status, our religion, or our ethnic origin, or anything else that may divide us, spiritual realization is our birthright. In his book, The Science of Religion, which was developed from his very first talk that he gave in America, he wrote, if by religion we understand only practices, particular tenets, dogmas, customs, and conventions, then there may be grounds for the existence of so many religions. If by religion we understand only practices, particular tenets, dogmas, customs, and conventions, then there may be grounds for the existence of so many religions. But if religion means primarily God consciousness, or the realization of God both within and without, and secondarily a body of beliefs, tenets, and dogmas, then, strictly speaking, there is but one religion in the world, for there is but one God. In reality, God and man are one, and the separation is only apparent. I like to conclude this morning with a verse that I paraphrase from the mystics. If one with a pure and surrendered heart seeks to know herself, she will find God. If one with a pure and surrendered heart seeks to know herself, she will find God. If she seeks God, she will find herself. Absorbed in the one, there is no difference. Peace.